Hello there. It's been a while. Of course, I'm thinking of all the humans in my life. I usually address these two. This one's kind of, I'm still sharing it, making it available publicly. It's also kind of for myself, It was said a long time ago that how did it go? An unexamined life is not worth living. I think that's the quote. So maybe we can suppose the alternative that an examined life is at least a good place to start. I know the ancient word history means like something like critical, to review critically, something like that. So when it comes to our personal lives, part of that examination and self-reflection is just creating records and getting these thoughts and feelings out of our mind, whether it be through writing, be through monologues or art or so forth. So what's it like being me? Well, I like doing things the right way. I like putting things in their place and things having a place. I like people a lot. And over the years, it's become a lot more uncomfortable being around them, just not knowing what my place is, and just really recognizing that I've learned and I've grown so much. I'm so much more self-aware, aware that what I say, even like the little twitches, the smallest of looks we have around people, can other people notice that, and can really have a big impact on how other people feel, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about the space that you're sharing with them. So I've learned to be a lot more careful about that. Probably in some cases too much and to a fault, but just the way I am, I'd rather be too cautious and care too much about that kind of thoroughness than being the other way and being too unaware and causing harm just through, what would I say, through youthful, at the very least, through youthful unknowing and ignorance. The word lonely comes up in my thoughts a lot, but that's such a loaded word. There's many different types of lonely. So in a sense, it's almost the loneliness of wanting myself too. That once you know yourself, that maybe you don't feel so alone. Maybe you feel you fit in, and how you can relate to other people in the world, your environment. There's definitely been some loss, and I've been grieving that a long time. There's been a lot of just confusion or reflection about, okay, what happened, what actually happened, what can I learn from this experience, how did it happen, was I naive, what did I miss, how can I learn from this, I never want to go through that again. If some of the things that have been said to or about me were true, how can I change from that? If those things aren't true, why would they say that? A lot of time just, it's been a process. It's of grieving, of reflecting, and a tremendous amount of just self-doubt, because there's all that analysis and that attempt for genuine analysis that I'm willing for that to be true. Because if that's true and I'm aware of it, then I can grow from it. In some cases, I don't want it to be true because that would be really alarming and uncomfortable, and that would be a shock and a grief, a loss of identity. But all the same, it would still be better to have that knowledge so I can grow from it. So it's been a lot of, I want to say a lot of discovery, definitely a lot of searching, probably a lot of discovery, a lot of experimentation with just arts and routines and just what will work, how can I? And of course I'm looking backwards often about how can I get back to where I once was. Someone that matters an awful lot to me. It was a point of encouragement. What they said was, you're still in there somewhere. That could mean a couple different things, right? But the humor is like, well, yeah, I was an idiot then, and I'm still an idiot now. Of course I'm still in there. But no one's an idiot. No one's dumb. No one's stupid. These are terms that are easy to use and so challenging to actually define. They're usually intended to just to gouge, to harm, to label, to elevate and classify, but everybody's good at something. Everybody's exceptional at something. And everybody also has things that they really need to work on. Sometimes they're willing to talk about it. Sometimes they're not. That's at least how I feel. It snowed today, which those are so often as comforting times for me, just whether it's the sound, whether it's the barometric pressure, the humidity, I've noticed it over the years that there's just a deep comfort that comes from when I experience deep snowfalls or deep, heavy, long rains, especially if there's no wind, but just lots of moisture. And it's so rare in this climate, ironically. You'd think if I had this kind of self-awareness, I'd move to a mountain or to a monsoon climate or something, but at least not yet. One can maybe dream, but not yet. And I have great people in my life, but at least right now, because I met them at a different point in my life, and I've been exposed to a few, call it memories or circumstances or situation and so forth, that I'm still coming to terms with. I'm still grieving. I'm still needing just some of that healing or closure. Now, part of that would be because I've taken a very long time to stand up for myself. I wasn't ready in the past. Because it's a process, right? It's a mindset. There's little skills that are needed to do something like that. Because of course people only pick or bully on those that they perceive are weak. So by virtue of picking on you, they're trying to convince you that you're weak. But when you really think about it, with humans, humans would only pick on someone that they feel actually has ability or potential. They might feel as a rival or so forth. Not everybody thinks this way. But what I've learned is in society, the true, I don't want to say the true, people that often are perceived as weak, they're usually left alone. I've found it's usually the people that other people want to make feel weak. Those are the people that are picked on. Often it's the overly kind, the overly generous, the naive, the inexperienced, the people that have maybe not less life experience, but just a more sheltered, a more privileged life experience. The type that they're not accustomed to being taken advantage of. They deal openly and honestly with others, and it's just kind of natural for them, for the world, to expect the world to be as honest and true back. And you know what? Usually the world is. Usually. So with these messages, part of me is I like routine. I'm usually aware that once I start doing something, I kind of slip and default into doing that more, or just doing the same time yesterday, or same thing as yesterday. I think it's important to give myself that permission here that if I need to have more of these messages or less, that I'm allowed to have no structure to it, especially in the beginning, right? Like, it's where I live, it's challenging because everyone's so quiet. I don't know where I can talk. I don't want to go outside because I want this privacy. I want these intimate moments. I don't even necessarily always like going into my car because then it's like, it just feels bizarre. I like that privacy. No one's intruding on me, and I don't want to intrude on other people. No, as I say that, the funny thing is, as careful as I try to be, and this is the humor, but when I'm making too many sounds, I live on a top floor, so I'm trying to be really conscious of being quiet for my neighbors below. As I'm about in my building today, I can hear a neighbor's music just thumping and pumping. And it's good music, thumping and bumping and just rocking. And this is down the hallway, and so it's quite lovely at times. It's a human. Yeah, sometimes I'll block my ears, and I found it helpful during COVID because everyone got to wear a mask, so I found that more comfortable to actually interact in public because I didn't have to be concerned about making other people feel uncomfortable if I'm sad or something because I can't see my face, you know, or maybe wearing sunglasses everywhere so that, again, people aren't so bothered, or I'm not as concerned or bothered by both bright lights or just some of their privacy. But I've also been told I'm too hard on myself, and sometimes I overthink things, and that's true. I think I'd rather overthink sometimes than not to otherthink. It's usually, I've heard some people are really successful with the term like it's fine or good enough, or that's things I can grow into slowly. It's a difficult concept to accept because it's kind of like excellence and like quality, and and that should be in everything we do. And so it can be hard to abandon that philosophy. I wanted to comment. It's really challenging, I find, living on my own because I've pared down how much stuff I have and I keep, and I find it's still too much stuff. I find my place is still too big. But I'm grateful it's warm, it's dry, it's indoors. A little bit about what it's like to be me. Pretty normal guy. I have pretty normal feelings like everybody else, with maybe just thinking too much on some things, or maybe just too committed to sharing and wanting to contribute to that.